Hi, everybody. It is December 11th, Friday. I'm just going to make a short video today. There's so much information available out there lately. Lots of people talking about what's going on. It's actually really good to see. I'm kind of watching the world wake up to all this. So it's almost like it's like I'm not going to be needed pretty quick here because everybody's waking up, and there's a lot of I know whether you guys sort of understand this or believe this or not, but they're called star seeds or star workers or light workers and things like that. There's lots of different names going on out there, but this has been planned for all these people to be kind of like activated or awakened to. It's like missions. It's like we have a mission on Earth now for this particular time to shift. I keep sort of I kind of go on about that too, but what we are really are going through a shift in a paradigm shift, it's like a reality shift. And what it is we're shifting from this old system. I called it a control system before because, like, as we've kind of noticed, the world is extremely corrupt. All the I call them our controllers, but it's like whether they're in government or they're in the judicial system or something. But I mean, there's just so much control out there. All of us have just kind of gotten used to it, and including me. And I just like thinking, well, I guess this is just the way things are. Well, no, it's not the way things are supposed to be at all. It's been going along for just way too long. So we're shifting. We're shifting right now, and in a sense, the people that have been planning this, and I'm just kind of waking up to this too, but there's a lot of different avenues they could have taken to wake the world up. It seems to me now, though, that the epicenter of this great awakening, in a sense, for the 21st century, to get out of this prison planet, is United States. It seems to be. It's not like the responsibility has fallen in our laps, but we just happen to be the most freedom oriented country. Like, this is the place where if we can't break the system here, the whole system will, you know this whole operation will collapse if we can't break the system here. It has to start someplace, and I came here to be a part of that. So, like I told you guys before, I've kind of woke up to that. To what extent, I have guides just like everybody else, and just like all of you do too. It's just that you've been dummied down. You can't hear those voices. This kind of sounds silly, but yeah, the voices in your head are generally. Uh, I mean, we can be influenced by entities. It's true, but usually it's more like your little inner voice, which is like your spirit speaking to you, going, "Hello, I don't think you should do that," or whatever. Trying to give us some guidance. But um, and then also there's whether it's your angel speaking to you. In my case, I've had angels or my guides keep me out of trouble and things like that. But kind of what I'm getting at here is this has been planned, and there's a lot of us out there trying to make this thing work. And as we've kind of noticed, as things have been playing out, we noticed Mr. T, I can use his name that way, seems to be almost like the spokesman or the head of. He's almost like the PR head of this Operation Clean Up Earth project. So what's been happening, if we noticed, is the techniques that the good guys are using is not coming in and just uh, you know it's almost like as if we're trying to break up some giant, which it is. It's a giant organized crime syndicate or something, and instead of just going in there and just arresting them and whatever, what they're doing is, in order for us, because it's almost like we've been under this hypnotic spell all these years, for hundreds of years, but he's exposing them. So it's really, in a sense, this big giant dragnet that's exposing this corruption and this control around the world, and it's for us to wake up. And again, it's kind of complicated in some ways. I've simplified it in my mind because I know how the system works now, most of it anyway. But it's because of our consciousnesses are connected, whether we realize it or not. You call it the 100 monkeys thing or whatever, but eventually, in other words, if someone, it's almost as if you have a twin, and they're on the other side of the world right now. You have your twin, and he's on vacation in Japan, and you're still over here in the United States, and if he trips and falls and scratches his knee, you feel it too. It's like, oh, what happened? I don't know. There's a invisible connection. Now, can you imagine? That's just twins. But if you're connected to everybody on Earth, that's why we all kind of feel depressed and down, because when someone's being oppressed anywhere, it kind of affects us, let alone in your neighborhood, in our countries and stuff. So we're breaking out of this system, and we're going into something really it's gonna be awesome, because it's basically, we're heading towards where it's supposed to be. But going back to what I'm saying earlier, is this operation is taking the least collateral damage way of doing it. If you kind of get my drift on that, it's going to be a slow wake up rather than a sudden wake up. So they're always, it's almost like they're playing out scenarios, saying, okay, what if we did this, and what if we did that? And because eventually we're going to be changing to a new, it's kind of like a monetary system, but money in itself has always been just a form of slavery. It's just a form of control. We'll be breaking out of that, but like I said, it's all the stuff that's coming ahead of us. It's going to be slow. It's a slow transition, because that's the best way to do it. And I know I've given you guys similar examples of that before, but it's very, very similar to, for instance, if back in the 1900s, when we were changing from oil lamps to electricity. So it's like, instead of saying, okay, tomorrow nobody's going to use oil lamps anymore, we're going to shut it down, we're just giving nothing but electricity, whatever. So it was a slow, probably in that case, it's probably like a 50-year or 20-year period where they slowly merged into changing the new power system around the world to electricity. Well, we're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be doing the same thing with free energy, lots of good things coming. New medical systems. We won't be sick anymore. I know it sounds fantastic and everything, but I'm telling you, that's the direction we're heading. So it's about the transition of that. And everybody has been so used to being in prison, they don't want to wake up to anything new. We're all creatures of habit that way. And we want, and change is hard. People don't like change a lot of times. And what makes it worse is our controllers do not want us to break out of that system, because that's how they control us. They control us with the debt system. They control us with diseases. I can go on and on and on. Anyway, so I'm trying to get back to the topic here, is whatever role I'm playing or you guys are playing, I'm kind of just waking up to this myself. But I just see this as this is like a really interesting time in history that, like take for instance last night, I live in Las Vegas, and I can hear the military air base up north. I can hear them still. There's lots of operations going on. They're just, all these jets were taken off last night, one after another. Just, there's a lot going on. And it's behind the scenes operations right now. It's almost kind of like, well, it is. It's kind of a this military operation. And what I was going to tell you guys about before is I don't usually follow. I don't follow the Q, QAnon and all that stuff that much. I just every once in a while I check it out and see. And but what I have noticed is because this is kind of like a undercover operation, even President T himself, he does kind of little information drops, and he speaks in code sometimes, and it's kind of a roundabout way. And I'm not sure if it's because he's trying to um, hide information from the bad controllers type of thing, or if it's more like a subtle way of saying things. I know that if when you speak things, it kind of put things into action too, and especially being in a position of power. But anyway, I was going to go back to yesterday. It kind of just occurred to me. I know he speaks in metaphor sometimes, but everybody's been so worried about the vaccine, if I can say that without this video getting taken down. Um, but no, of course, it's not going to be mandatory and everything. But at the same time, he said something about, well, the military is going to be helping roll out this new vaccine and whatever, and going to be a part of it. I think it was a metaphor for what is going on right now. I think he meant the vaccine is getting rid of the dark side. So the military is involved right now. It's a huge military operation around the world. These planes have been picking people up all around the world and taking them basically to jail. It's called Gitmo or whatever, but there's lots of other places as well. But this is an ongoing cleanup operation that we're actually sort of seeing. It's kind of not obvious, but I'm just saying it's going on right now. And talk about proof. When all this is said and done, 5 years from now, because of course Trump still has to stay in power. He's going to carry on, of course, because this whole operation has been planned. This, the way I see it, it's going to look like, and again, he's playing this really complicated three-dimensional chess game with our opponent, which is the controllers, and he's purposely making it look like he's failing, and that's how you draw your enemy in. I understand how the game's played, and so he's making it look like they're winning a little bit, but all of us that are not privy to what's really going on, we're worried because we're watching this, going, "Oh my God, is he going to lose? Is this? Are we going to be stuck? Is it whatever?" We're always worried. Well, I'm not worried at all because I've envisioned, I've already seen it. They've shown me things that's going to be happening. It's very, very positive. I can't tell everything that I've seen right now because it's just almost like ahead of its time. I have to kind of hold back the information I was given, but this has to just play out, and don't worry so much. Things are going to really turn out good. Honestly, it's just going to look bad, but again, going back to this ongoing operation that's going on right now, it's things are just rolling out. We just got to stand back and kind of watch it play out. That's kind of how I see it. It's big dragnet, man. There's so much going on right now. like I was saying, when we watch the documentaries and the movies, 5 or 6 years from now, talking about this time, we're gonna go, I can't believe that was going on right before our very eyes, right underneath our feet, and we didn't even realize it. That's the cool stuff that we're going to be seeing in the future for sure. So have a good Friday. Have a good weekend. No worries. We're on schedule. We're on track. Things are working out. It's just we got to watch this thing play out and stay positive. I keep saying that, but that's exactly the truth. Okay. Talk to you later. Bye.